What if Lionel Messi was never Argentine, but Portuguese? Imagine, for a second, that the man who carried the blue and white of Argentina was instead born under the red and green of Portugal. How would football's greatest story be rewritten? Would Messi's career follow the same magical path? Would Cristiano Ronaldo still rise as the undisputed face of Portuguese football, or would history crown a different king? This is not just a simple "what if?" It's a scenario that could change everything we know about football. From Messi's earliest steps to the trophies he might have lifted, we'll uncover, step by step, how this alternate reality could have reshaped the game forever. But first, let's start with his early life. If Lionel Messi had opened his eyes not in Rosario, Argentina, but in Portugal, his childhood would look very different. Instead of running through dusty streets in Santa Fe, he might have been kicking a ball along the narrow lanes of Madeira, the same island that raised Cristiano Ronaldo, or perhaps in the bustling neighborhoods of Lisbon. From a young age, scouts at Sporting CP or Benfica would almost certainly notice the boy with unmatched control and vision. Yet here lies the first twist. Back in Argentina, Barcelona intervened to treat Messi's growth condition, shaping his entire destiny. But in Portugal, would any club take that same gamble? Without Argentina fighting for his future, Messi's story might not unfold the way we know it. And this leads to the bigger question: how would his path to professional football begin? In reality, Lionel Messi's career changed forever when he left Argentina at the age of 13 and joined Barcelona's famed La Masia Academy. But if he had grown up in Portugal, that journey would almost certainly look different. Instead of moving to Spain as a teenager, Messi could have joined Sporting CP, the same club that shaped Cristiano Ronaldo. Surrounded by Portugal's top young talents, Messi's skills would shine early, forcing the biggest clubs in Europe to take notice. But here's the real twist. Would Barcelona still take the risk to bring him in, knowing he wasn't tied to Argentina's push for support? Or would another giant step forward? Real Madrid, who had a history of scouting Portuguese stars, might have snapped him up first. Just imagine Messi, not as Barcelona's icon, but as a Portuguese prodigy in white, standing alongside the Galacticos. Or even more shocking, picture him leaving Sporting to partner Ronaldo at Manchester United, forming a duo that could dominate football years earlier than anyone expected. The possibilities would turn the sport upside down. But Messi's alternate path doesn't stop at club football. The real transformation begins when we place him in Portugal's national team. Here is where the alternate timeline becomes truly dramatic. If Messi was born in Portugal, he would never wear the blue and white of Argentina. Instead, he would line up in red and green, a jewel in Portugal's golden generation. Imagine the scene: a young Messi playing alongside legends like Luís Figo, Deco, and a rising Cristiano Ronaldo in the early 2000s. Argentina, meanwhile, would be left searching for a leader, forced to face tournament after tournament without the player who carried them for decades. The contrast is staggering. In the 2006 World Cup, Portugal already reached the semifinal. Add Messi's creativity and finishing, and suddenly the path to the trophy looks entirely possible. Fast forward to Euro 2016. Portugal won with Ronaldo's leadership alone. With Messi in that squad, the victory could have been even more dominant, perhaps remembered as one of the most untouchable campaigns in history. And then, the biggest twist of all, the 2022 World Cup. Instead of Argentina lifting the trophy in Qatar, Portugal might have been the one celebrating, Messi and Ronaldo finally crowned as champions together. One country becomes unstoppable, while another loses its greatest hero forever. But this alternate destiny raises an even deeper question. What happens to the rivalry between Messi and Ronaldo if they share the same colors? The defining story of modern football has always been the rivalry between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Two men, two nations, two styles, locked in a battle that spanned more than 15 years. But in this alternate reality, that rivalry doesn't exist. Instead of competing against each other, Messi and Ronaldo would stand shoulder to shoulder, wearing the same badge, fighting for the same cause. At first glance, this sounds like the dream of every football fan. The perfect partnership, two GOATs combining to terrorize defenses worldwide. Yet, without rivalry, would they have reached the same legendary heights? In reality, each man pushed the other to go further. Ronaldo chasing Messi's brilliance at Barcelona, Messi answering back to Ronaldo's dominance at Madrid. Remove that tension, and the story changes. Their partnership might dominate the game, but the eternal debate of who is the greatest could vanish, replaced by a shared crown. And that leads to the biggest question of all. How would global football itself be reshaped if the sport's two brightest stars weren't rivals, but teammates? The ripple effect of Messi being born in Portugal would stretch far beyond the pitch. Sponsorships, marketing, and fan culture would be transformed overnight. Argentina would lose its greatest icon, a symbol of national pride, while Portugal would gain the most marketable duo in sports history, Messi and Ronaldo together. The media wouldn't just cover their matches, it would build an empire around them. Jerseys, endorsements, global campaigns, everything would double in scale. Even the Ballon d'Or race would be rewritten. Instead of splitting trophies across two nations and two clubs, the awards might pile up under one flag, perhaps alternating between Messi and Ronaldo, or shared in ways we can only imagine. Instead of two GOATs representing two rival nations, the world would witness one unstoppable super team. And this brings us to the final question. Would football truly be better in this reality, or did destiny give us the perfect story by keeping them apart? If Lionel Messi had been born in Portugal, football history would be unrecognizable. The trophies, the rivalries, even the very debates that fuel the sport would shift completely. Argentina would lose its greatest ever player, while Portugal would rise as a global powerhouse, boasting not just Ronaldo, but Messi alongside him. Together, they could have won everything: World Cups, Euros, endless Champions Leagues. Yet in gaining the ultimate partnership, the world would lose the rivalry that defined a generation. Because sometimes greatness isn't only about winning, it's about competition, about two legends pushing each other beyond their limits. And that's exactly what Messi and Ronaldo gave us. So tell me, would you rather have seen Messi and Ronaldo as unstoppable teammates? Or do you prefer the rivalry that gave us 15 unforgettable years of magic? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more football stories like this.